Viewers, welcome again. Admire the art of business. I'm Admire, your host. Once again, we're back. And we're back with very interesting discussions. Today, we're having a discussion around Zimbabwean Achievers Awards. This is a platform which is great. This is a platform that a lot of Zimbabweans across the whole of Australia are in there. They are doing things. And the awards are there to say, you know what, guys, you've done a fantastic job. But you know what? I'm not going to be saying a lot of things there. I've got two gentlemen, amazing gentlemen here, who are here to explain and talk to us about the awards, right? Who are you, by the way?
So my name is Method Mukundu. So with regards to the Zim Achievers Awards, I am the country director for the Australia edition of the Zimbabwe Achievers Awards. So I run this event with a committee. So we are organizing this year's event. We're coming back after a break imposed by COVID. So we're quite excited to be back again with Zim Achievers Awards and celebrate the achievements by Zimbabweans in the Australian diaspora.
Man, that's beautiful, man. Yeah. That's so beautiful. Cool. So you run this with the committee, right?
Yeah.
How many people are at the committee?
We had 5 when we started doing it this year, but obviously the all volunteers, and obviously they've got other priorities, but actively at the moment we've got about 3. So there's myself and 2 others. Yeah.
All right, can you tell the audience, who are you and what's your involvement with the Achievers Award?
My name is Stephen Mandigora. I'm a CEO of Frontier Wealth Group. We are a wealth management company. We deal with wealth advice, mortgage broking, as well as property. One day we went fishing with Method on a very suspicious boat.
I love that.
and that's when he came up with the idea that there was this gala event coming up to honor some Zimbabweans who are doing really well in the country and would like to be involved in helping with the sponsorship. And we raised our hand and here we are today.
Wow, that's so beautiful. That's giving back to the community, right?
Absolutely. It is part of giving back to the community.
Okay. What's the name of your company, by the way?
Frontier Wealth Group.
Frontier. Okay, beautiful. So what do you exactly do? You want to break me down this kind of service that you offer?
Absolutely. 3 main services.
Yeah.
The first one is financial planning, where we sit down with clients, typically mom and dad, who are building wealth, what strategies to put together to be able to build wealth in a nice, gradual way. The other license we hold is mortgage broking. We help clients who are funding acquisition of assets, mostly property, with loans. We look after so many banks. And the third license we have, we're a real estate agent. We help people who are looking for properties, wherever you're looking for it, anywhere in Australia. Wow. We help you secure properties, whether you're buying an existing property or off the plan.
Okay. I think people will be interested. How long have you been doing this?
For quite a while. Frontier Wealth Group was formed around 2004. And prior to that, we were in the banking arena. I used to work for the Commonwealth Bank.
Yeah.
And we progressively add license on it. So the first financial planning license was 2004. Around about 2008, we had the property license and then the finance license. But so we've been around for a while.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. That's good. So Method, man, this is good, man. So
it's awesome.
When did you start doing this?
Yeah, so my involvement with Zim Achievers dates back to the UK, because I attended one of the events in the UK. As you know, Zim Achievers was started by Conrad Mwanza in the UK in 2010. So I attended one of the events in London. Then I moved to Australia in 2012. It so happened that I was part of the group that Conrad was getting in touch with here in Australia to bring the event, and that was in 2017.
Oh, wow.
So we then went on to organize the first event here that happened at the Hilton Hotel in Adelaide in 2017. And then from then on, I kept on going with it because I like the nobleness of the idea behind the Zim Achievers. So we took the event to Melbourne in 2018.
Right.
And then we came to Sydney in 2019. And we were meant to go to Perth in 2020, then COVID hit. So we had to take a COVID imposed break. But now we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But now, in 2019, we did that in Sydney.
Yeah.
And 2023, we are back again in Sydney. What's
Back
the reasoning
in Sydney.
there?
So because of that COVID break, we felt like we lost momentum. So my thinking is that I'm based in Sydney myself. So to manage all the risks associated with the logistics and running of the event, I thought it was wise to regain momentum here in Sydney, where we got more control, and then we can then take that momentum to Perth next year.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But how is it different after the COVID-19 now to restart everything? Is it so difficult, or is it kind of easy?
I think it's a bit of both, because like I said, having done 3 in a row, we had momentum, we had some of the plans were kind of standardized, so we knew what we were doing. And coming back from a break, you're almost like learning again what you were doing. But in terms of the engagement with the people and the participation we've seen so far, I think it's actually looking to be bigger and better this year, because people are really looking forward to coming out and meeting again and networking again. So COVID impacted everyone, and everyone is tired of just being locked up at home.
I know.
You know what I mean? So people are really excited about the return of the Zim Achievers, and everyone I've had a chat with are really excited to be out again, and they can't wait for the 11th of November.
I know.
Yeah.
So Steve, in your CEO fora, you linking up with different people. Indeed. Are you also using your influence within the business community to get people around and supporting this event?
Without a doubt. As sponsors, we are quite visible with the Zim Achievers, whether it's on their website or in any activities we're doing. So definitely, first of all, it's my entire team that needs to be there, and our families, and followed by most of our clients. We're basically getting in touch with some of our clients, really, who would like to spend some time away from business in a social environment. That's really the core business. So definitely we have picked up a few tables already, which are fully funded, and we would like to continue to invite people, even some of our clients from interstate, who may want to be part of this. This will be a very good evening. We have an office in Brisbane, in Chermside, and our team from Brisbane is coming for that event as well.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So your services, do you cover the whole of Australia, or you just pick a couple of states and territories?
At the moment, I would say the bulk of Australia. Financial advice can be delivered in any way. So we have clients in Singapore, clients in Dubai, clients in South Africa, and of course, most certainly, all over Australia. But when it comes to, for example, properties, we are normally focused on the main hubs of the country. So you look at Sydney, I suppose price points are forcing us out in a way.
It's got a trigger, right?
Absolutely. And so anything within 2 hours of Sydney is still fair game for actual investment properties. So we've gone to Brisbane as well, and even the southwest corner of Queensland. So that's really a good, as far maybe inland as Toowoomba, Sunshine Coast, coming down to the right to the border. We are in Melbourne, almost every part of the Melbourne CBD, the external parts of that, as well as Adelaide. We've actually have to go to Adelaide to talk to developers, look at new, I suppose, suburbs that are coming up, look at infrastructure that's being built by various governments. We've taken a 4-hour trip to Perth. Again, Perth is typically a strip along the sea, north of the CBD and south of the CBD. So we have actually clients who are buying properties in those areas. So definitely, we haven't been to Darwin.
Fair enough. I think we need to go there. I think you and Method, I suggest Zim Achievers Awards the next one.
Absolutely.
In Darwin, maybe.
Agreed.
All right.
No, agreed. Wherever there's Zimbabweans, we should take it there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So the event for this year, where is that happening, Method?
This year's event is at the Hilton Hotel in Sydney. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We try to make, when people are gonna take their time out, travel, it's fitting that we organize it at a very, very good event so people can enjoy the luxury that's offered by these types of hotels. But more importantly, it makes it easier for us to organize the event, because there are some things that we know quality is locked in. We are guaranteed good service at these hotels. You pay a little bit of premium, but you don't worry about the quality of the food or the the ambience of the place on the night, you know what I mean? So we almost guaranteed. So what we worry about is people turning up on time, looking fab, and obviously in the mood to have a good meal, network, have a few drinks, and pick up some awards. You know what I mean? So
So is it a time whereby when we get there, people literally want to dress up, like really dressing up? Or we want to be, at some point in time, I know Baba Harare went to an occasion in Harare wearing, that was, I think, a basketball, top. I remember that. So what's the dress code in there?
Well, unless you're trying to, catch some other attention, I wouldn't advise dressing that way. But I think the event mostly it's centered around, black tie. It's a black tie event, evening gown for ladies. We really encourage everyone to push it to the very top. It's our signature event in the Zimbabwean diaspora community in Australia. That's why we have it towards the end of the year. When everything else has been done, we come in and sign off.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean? So
that's a good one.
You just come looking the best you've ever looked in 2023, and you won't go wrong if you do that.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And Steve, you tell me, in terms of business, you're a business person, right? You've been doing this for a long time. How do you see this benefiting the business community, not just your business?
Absolutely. It's an opportunity for Zimbabweans to come together. First of all, to give a token reward, or at least a reward for those people who have been working hard. I mean, whether it's some certificate, but it's really an opportunity for us to really come down and talk about some of those important things. But at the end of the day, when you look at our business, we are part of the Zimbabwean community. And if we look at it again, the Zimbabwean community has supported us in so many ways. In fact, I would probably say close to 50% of our client base is from Zimbabwe. And I would also say it out there, Zimbabweans are doing very well in Australia. In a sense, they're building wealth. I would like not to give examples here, but definitely you're looking for people who have been here maybe for less than 10 years or just under 20 years, who have really amassed a reasonable amount of wealth. So by coming together and just celebrating, and also maybe encouraging, especially the younger ones who we encourage to attend as well, is very, very important. We want them to see who are part of this community and how far does it extend, in which fields are we. I mean, they're doctors, they're nurses, they're accountants, they're business people, people in disability, people in engineering. That's really about coming together. And I've seen other communities in this country for the maybe past almost 30 years I've been here. Greek community, Italian community, Jewish community, who have really come together. And this is probably one way, as we link up with the likes of Zima and all that, really to find ways of continue to work together as Zimbabweans. We are pretty special.
Absolutely. And Method, within the Achievers Award, do we have categories in there where you guys have set it down and everything else?
Yes, so we've got 20 categories. So what
20 did you say?
20, yes.
Right.
So and when we did the first one, what used to happen was the process was that we announced that we're running the event. We have a platform where people would go and nominate the people that they know are doing well in the categories that we would have put out there. And then after the nominations, we then deliberate and shortlist 5 per category, and then we put them out to popular vote, and whoever gets the most vote picks the vote. But then we got feedback after the first one that, well, there are some categories where we can't really decide on popular vote. And it made sense, made a lot of sense. So what we've started to do now is to have some categories that we put out the request for nomination. But once the nominations have come in, we then shortlist and send that shortlist to select committees that then deliberate and decide. So, for example, academic, excellence award. You wouldn't put that out to popular vote.
No.
You know what I mean? We shortlist, and then we ask people that they've got that forte as academics, and they can peer review that, and they can then come back to us and say, this is the person that we believe is worth the recipient of that award. Similarly, with in the medical area as well, we've got the Zimbabwe Medical Doctors Association in Australia, the ZIMDA. So we approach them and we ask them to give us a name of a doctor that has excelled in Australia.
That's right.
And so in the medical excellence field, we've got a name that has been deliberated by ZIMDA, which is a committee that is actually working within that area. So they know their members very well. They know who's been doing what in which areas and what's inspiring their colleagues. And that's what we're getting.
That's quite interesting, because obviously people would want to know the base that you use, and you've actually explained that. What about the academic excellency? When do you have a committee? Do you have people around? How did you get it sorted?
Yeah, we have people that have got, like I said, we consult some academics and we ask them to deliberate. Within the ZA committee as well, we have select committees that look after areas that can deliberate and say, this is what we've seen, and this is the recipient that we believe is the best. There is areas where there is interaction with the public, like music. You can sing well, but if the music is not connecting with the people, then can we say it's good music? So the way we judge music is by how many people are following your music, how many people are interested in your music. So if people are enjoying your music, if they're engaged with the material or the content you're producing, then we should see that reflecting as well in the voting system. Similarly with social media, right? So if you're a social influencer, we should see that flowing through your engagement with your fans, with your followers, should then stream through to the votes as well. So there are areas that are very easy for us to then say, we can use popular vote. So we've got 12 awards that have gone out for popular vote, and 8 that we will deliberate, and in one of the categories we got 2 winners as well. So so we will be giving out 21 awards on the night.
Okay, beautiful. That's quite good. And I like the process that you guys go through, and getting different people from different facets to help you in terms of that. It gives a lot of credibility.
Correct.
With everything else.
Correct. It's always the case in a big setup like this. Australia is a very big country, and obviously we won't be able to flush out everyone. There will be others that will be missed out on, but again, that's why we encourage Zimbabweans to be engaged. You know what I mean? We do get a lot of people coming after the event saying, oh, how come you didn't recognize this person? And we look up and say, wow, they're doing wonderful. But how come you didn't tell us about it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's why we put out the announcement very early, months before the event, to say, look guys, it's happening. Can you please let us know who in your area, in your community, in your field, who is doing well? So if you're corporate, if you're high up in the banks and you know a Zimbabwean who's doing very well, who's sitting on boards or going places, let us know. If you're in medical field, similarly, if you're in engineering, we know we've got engineers that are running portfolios in the mines that are in excess of millions. And we need to know about these guys, and we need them to be put forward as well for us.
I'll go back the issues about the votes, those categories that need to be voted, right? How do you process the votes in there? Who is the ZEC? I would say. Who does the counting of the votes? I want to know that. I'm sure the viewers would love to see that. Can you please tell us that?
I know, coming from a Zimbabwe setup,
you want to know the view.
Anything that is got voting is always contentious, but such is the nature of the game. I suppose you can be as transparent as you want, but like every system, it's got to have some degree of control, because we can't put the platform out there for everyone. So what happens is, when people vote, we go to the back end and we extract the poll results. For those that attended the 2019 event here in Sydney, we actually printed the poll results and displayed them at the back. So put them in a folder and put them at the back for everyone to see. Such is the extent of the transparency that we need. We shouldn't need to go there, but I would think the merit of the person that wins it should actually say it all. You know, for me, it ends at the shortlisting. So once we've shortlisted 5 people, any one of those people is a worthy winner. So it doesn't matter who ends up winning. And the impact of the Zim Achievers on all those 5 people that are put out there as shortlisted nominees is huge. For the winner, it can blow out. We've got a few post winners that they've come and fed back to us that this has been wonderful, and we actually see it.
Wow.
And very recently, we've got one of our past winners recently has been nominated as Australian of the Year.
Wow.
It's going to that extent for them. So after the Zim Achievers, they've gone on to win several other awards, and now they have been nominated for Australian of the Year.
That's very
nice. So just the nomination on its own is just wonderful.
That's beautiful. I love the transparency. I love the way you do all the processes and the way you explaining them. That's really, shows that that's above board.
Absolutely.
I'm sure in business we've got corporate governance that we do, right?
Without a doubt. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. And in our business, compliance. It's pretty serious. And even just dealing with the client, there has to be that transparency. And whether it's disclosures, whatever it is you do, you need that. But yeah, definitely. Luckily, we're not politicians.
Yeah,
we'll leave that.
That's quite interesting. So, Steve, with the organization of this Achievers Award, where do you place your hands in? Do you want to explain that to the audience?
I suppose from that boat incident, literally, I think we've been very much involved with the team, because again, there has to be promotional material that comes in, but even just looking at the budget itself. And again, there's no money being made by anybody in here. We've actually seen the budget in terms of really right from the menus, the people who are being invited, the technos, people like yourselves who are coming in. So definitely that needs to be funded. So we were very much involved with Zim Achievers Committee in sort of deciding where can we go, how far can we go. But definitely, as people come in and pay for the attendance, it helps a lot towards that budget. But definitely, we need to keep up the gap between the hotel expenses and all the other expenses. So we've been very much involved in that. And even maybe promotional materials that needs to go on the day, everything that goes on the actual planning of the day. I've been to the hotel maybe 4 times to make sure that what we are putting together for the Zimbabweans is really special for that event, but it's something that we would like to remember maybe months and months after that. And this is an association, hopefully, or partnership that I would like maybe to continue with Zim Achievers in the future. We might get additional partners to come in, but definitely as we look at Perth, as we look at maybe going to Melbourne, Queensland, and all that. So we will be very much involved in that. And it's a team effort right at the roots of the business.
Team effort, guys, before we get to the next question, because I want you to justify to the audience, why would someone come to the event? Things that we're expecting. The food that is there, the kind of wine that is in there, the Shiraz, those kind of things. What you want, guys? For now, we're going to take a little break. I'll be back very soon.
That's awesome.